everybody, this is Marci-Anne again, the Director of Recreation for Spinnaker Resorts and your resident Master Naturalist here in the Low Country. And today I'm kind of doing a little public service announcement for our critters that live here on the beach. I want to share with you just a little bit about when you visit our beaches and you're making these great discoveries just like we did, what it is you're finding and what you can take with you and what you should leave be here on the beach. So the critters would definitely appreciate it. So we're going to kind of look at what you can, what you can't. Take this, not that. Here are some of my favorite things to find out here on the beach, and let me explain to you why. First of all, you'll quite often, up in the rack lines, you'll see these beautiful corals, and these are called sea whips. They kind of come in these beautiful purples, pinks, and yellows. And like I said, you'll see them in the rack line. That's right where the water line washes up, and you kind of see it looks a little weedy and junky in that line. That's the perfect spot to go looking for some great finds from our oceans. In the rack lines, you'll probably also find some of these sponges, and sponges are great to collect, and these are no different than the loofahs that you have in your home, only they don't smell quite as good because they did just come out of the ocean. So if you do get these, I strongly suggest that you take them back and soak them for a little while. Don't leave them in a hot car because they will leave an imprint on your vacation otherwise. But you are free to take these. These are a plant variety, as with our corals. One of the most common shells you'll find, of course, is our bivalve shells, which they come in a lot of different varieties. You'll even find clams, you'll find oyster shells, and these are really fun to find. You find some that look like sunsets. Of course, there's going to be plenty of these beautiful bleached out white ones for you. And they're always fun to find, and it's a little, you can test yourself. It's hard to find actually complete ones, so sometimes you can even find them when they're still hinged, which is a pretty cool find. Of course, you're going to find also your little letter olives, which is actually the state shell that we have for the state of South Carolina. And let me show you this little treasure. Now, this brings us to an important thing to remember when you're going on our beaches, especially when you're looking at these circular shells. I'm going to encourage you to always check within this little area here and really hold on to these shells for a little while and keep checking back, because you might find, I don't know if you can see in there, we have a friend that has taken up residence in this little shell here. Now, we want to make sure that we don't take him home because this is his home. Also, to take him home, if it's discovered, which would be hard to do, it is a $500 fine to take living sea creatures off of our beaches. So that's a pretty expensive souvenir that you would be taking back with you if you're taking off any of our live creatures. So how do you know if they're alive or not? Well, rule of thumb, if it's a conical shell like this, probably give it some time, check it. That brings us to one of our great finds that you find here on the beaches that gets everybody excited. There's a couple of things that you find. If you're out in the water especially, you may come across a whole section that has a bunch of these wonderful, beautiful whelks in them. And you see it's a complete shell. They're just beautiful. But if I turn him over, you will see that he has got a resident inside. I'm going to tell you, pretty much 99% of all complete shells, and especially our whelk shells like these, have a friend inside. Now, you're not always going to see them, and I'm going to attest to this because my daughter, who is raised here on Hilton Head Island, knows this for a fact, but still has practiced bringing home shells to a wonderful smell in our house later on when we discover indeed there was a friend inside. So please leave the whelk shells in the water. If you want a beautiful whelk like this, there's plenty of places here on the island that will sell them to you, resident free. Trust me, you will thank me later because this is a smell that does not go away. So we want to leave Mr. Hermit Crab right here in his shell with his little friend, the miniature hermit crab. Now, other things though that might surprise you that you can take off the beach. This is a horseshoe crab shell. Now, as you can see as I turn it over, there isn't any horseshoe left in there. Now, occasionally we'll find some dead ones washed up here on the beach. You want to leave those be because that just takes a long time to dry those out. But these shells, this is from when the horseshoe crab was growing. So they release these. It's kind of a cool process. If you've ever had acrylic nails and you have your nails pop, that's what they kind of look like. Their nails have popped, and they will leave these on the beach. So you are free to take these with you, although I would kind of give it a little spritz with some lacquer to keep any residual smells down from it. So that will take care of that. That brings us to our starfish and our sand dollars, who are stars out here on our beaches. And you can find them quite often, and they will wash up in large colonies. These are they're difficult to take home with you, and they are against the law to take as well. So these are something that you will want to get in a local shell shop. They have plenty of them that are dried out, clean, and ready for you to take with you. The starfish are kind of an interesting creature because you may think that you're just taking a part of a starfish, but they regenerate. So you can see a half a jellyfish, or not a jellyfish, a starfish, or you can find one that's only like 2 legs. He will regenerate these other legs, and sometimes you'll find them out here on the beaches where they have like a bunch of legs and like little tiny nubs, and that means that they're regenerating. So we make sure that we keep these on the beaches. So no, they're not dead if they're torn apart. They're probably going to regenerate and just keep on going. With our sand dollars, you'll find them out generally underneath the sand surface. You'll see them kind of popping up, and they'll have kind of a fuzzy bottom to them. I actually didn't bring any up here because they're kind of vulnerable. They don't want to stay out of the water very long. So we want to make sure if you find a sand dollar that has fuzz on it, they could be green, they could be kind of a pink or a brown or a purple, those are alive. Those are a living, breathing creature. Actually, those beautiful little petals you see that's where they filter their air, so that's how they breathe. And we want to make sure that we leave them on the beaches because it's really important that we keep these sea creatures in their habitat, and we only take home souvenirs that we purchase in a shell shop, which we would all really appreciate. But that's also, we're going to be having upcoming one of my favorite finds here on the beach, and that is our shark's teeth. And really, those are a fun one to discover out here. And it's getting more plentiful now that we've done some of these beach renourishments. You're finding these shark's teeth a little bit more commonly on our beaches. So I have a whole program that we're putting together that will teach you how to find shark's teeth here on our beaches. So stay tuned. If you happen to find something on the beach that I did not address today, I love to discover new things, and I also love to help people discover what they've found. So do me a favor, if you find something wonderful and you're wondering what it is that you found here on the beach, take a picture of it, post it in the comments down below, and they'll make sure they get to me, and I will give you an answer as to what that wonderful creature is. So let's make this a scavenger hunt. Take those pictures, send them off to me, and see if anybody can stump me and have me make a new discovery here on our beaches. Have fun, stay safe, remember that sunblock in the water. We'll see you all soon.